I mean, as far as kind of the violence goes, how involved are you when it comes to, you know, letting the police know what happened, or never mind, you already told me about
Right.
that. Sorry. Um, I mean, at other stuff, I mean, what if someone, I mean, I'm trying to think. I had a good question, and then
Sure,
it
that's
kind of,
okay.
I started asking it, and then I realized, oh, this is not what I meant to do.
No,
So,
that's okay.
I guess I'll just kind of ask you this: do you have anything you'd like to add?
Well, I should point out we've talked a lot about gun-related crimes, but we want information on any crime, the commission of any crime that's occurred. It may be, again, a minor vandalism crime, but we still want that. Obviously, the most heinous crimes being the homicides, we certainly want information, but any crime that's committed within Champaign County, we want information for. Again, we are very appreciative of the media, and particularly WCIA, for being very supportive and helpful in getting the word out. It's tremendously important, and I think one of the items we confront as a totally volunteer organization is really getting the word out. We don't have a paid media staff, or media person, I should say, or marketing person. We depend upon agencies such as WCA and others to get the word out to the community, but letting the community know that not only that we exist, but how we operate. I think a large portion of Champaign County is aware of Crime Stoppers, but may not be aware of how we operate, and also may not be aware how they can interact with Crime Stoppers to be helpful in the resolution of crimes. And again, as police always say, if you think you might have something that might be helpful, don't hesitate. Come forward. Don't think, well, I'm not sure this is really that important or that helpful. Let the law enforcement make the determination. So really, any information that possibly might be related to the commission of a crime, please do come forward. If you don't want to go, for whatever reason, directly to law enforcement, contact Crime Stoppers via our phone line, our website, or the mobile app. We're there to take that information and get it to the appropriate law enforcement agency in a very timely fashion.
Um, I mean, yeah. Let's say someone brings in a tip. How long does it take, to notify police? Is it immediate? Is it, hey, we're gonna get this to them by the end of the day or
No,
tomorrow?
it usually is very rapid as far as the transition. Obviously, occasionally we'll get information regarding a crime in process, which that's the exception, because again, normally something like that, we want people to go directly to 911 with that information. But if it is a crime in process, that immediately is conveyed. Normally what happens is, depending upon when the information comes in, it's timely processed. Again, identifying where it should go. If crime in the city of Champaign, obviously Champaign Police Department, Urbana Police Department. If it's in the county, it'd be the sheriff's office, Rantoul, Mahomet, what have you. Identifying where it needs to go and then getting it conveyed, but it's done very timely. There's not a lag at all. And so that's a very important item, because we realize the transmission of this information is very important, the timely nature of that transmission in the resolution of the crime.
There's different ways that they can kind of interact with you guys. Kind of get that information out. What are, I mean, you obviously got that all these different ways to contact you. I mean, but what are some of the ways that they can get that information, I guess, to you? Do you guys ask the questions or?
Basically, if they contact us over the phone line, the website, or the mobile app does provide a feature where a law enforcement person can come back to the tipster and ask additional questions. Again, totally anonymous. There's no way we can know, but they can have a go back and forth, which is very helpful. With the phone situation, there's no way really we can get back to the person, again, because we don't have numbers, we don't record that. The website, there is a possibility there of possibly going back and forth, again, anonymously with the tipster. But basically, we try to glean all we can from the initial information and then take that and run with it, if you will. And often it's a situation that the information may not be the the sole resolution of the case, but it often is then will lead police in a certain direction that they may not have been traveling, or it'll assist them with the information they may already have to make a stronger case. So quite often, in and of itself, the information from Crime Stoppers will not meet the threshold of constitutional arrest, but coupled with other information, it does. And often it's the key that unlocks the door to make that arrest possible.
And then, I mean, you talk about how, you know, you guys work with police, not necessarily for the police. Because I always thought it was just kind of like part of the police.
No,
Like it was
I,
like a
I
different
think
section.
that is a misnomer. I think a lot of people think we are part of a governmental agency, that we receive governmental funding, things of that nature, that we have a paid staff, not that what's, or that we have an office within a local law enforcement agency. As I said, we don't even have an office. So we are totally a civilian organization. We exist solely to assist law enforcement in Champaign County, but we are a totally civilian board. We have no law enforcement members, voting members of our board. As I indicated, we have a law enforcement coordinator that's a non-voting member of our board, and that is the individual who's really the spokesperson from our board to law enforcement throughout Champaign County. But we're a totally civilian operation, not a government agency or entity whatsoever.
Okay, so that's kind of, well, when I was growing up, you know, I always thought,
I think a lot of people, and a lot of people, I think that we have, since our inception, received governmental funding. We have not. We've had to go out and get money to provide these rewards on our own. And basically, it's the generosity of the community as a whole, individuals, businesses, organizations, whatever, that have assisted us to make that possible. But we, again, are not a governmental entity or organization.
okay. Then, and like I said, for me, when I was a kid, I always thought it was local to where I was and it was part of the police.
Right. No, as I said, I think a lot of people have that misconception, which I understand. Because we are very closely aligned with law enforcement, but we are not directly part of law enforcement. Totally separate from law enforcement. Again, we exist totally to assist law enforcement, but we are not directly under any sort of law enforcement agency.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, for me, in as far as I know, I mean, I feel like that'd be very confusing if you didn't know that.
Most definitely.
Right.
And I think it's important for the community to know that, and also for individuals that might be coming forward with information to us that we're a totally civilian group. And our fundraising, I must admit, as we are paying out rewards, and we're paying out more rewards, it's become more important, because for any volunteer group, that's a major hurdle. And our financial situation is a major hurdle, ensuring that we have enough money in our treasury to make these cash rewards and that we can continue to have that, because that is a very important component. But it's a challenge. There's no two ways about funding, and we're always very desirous of individuals that do come forward. We are a 501c3 organization, so contributions to our organization are eligible for tax deduction as a charitable contribution. But we need funding, definitely.
Yeah, and what? Sorry, it kind of escaped me. You know, what is your guys' goal? What are some of the challenges you guys face? I'm sure you guys. I mean, obviously, you guys are anonymous. I'm sure that creates challenges. What are some of the challenges you guys see? But how do you also overcome those challenges? What are some of the, other than financially, I guess?
I think our biggest challenge now, other than financial, is getting the word out to the community. And particularly with the escalation in crimes, as we point out, the gun-related crimes, but really getting the word out to as many people as possible. Again, these crimes are happening throughout the community, not just one particular area. So it's incumbent upon us to really beat the drums, if you will, and let people know we exist, and that we can take that information and be helpful in the resolution of the crime. That's, I think, our big challenge right now.
Yeah, and then, other than staying anonymous and whatever, what is your guys' goal as Crime Stoppers? To, I guess, what is I wouldn't say like your goal statement or whatever, but you know, what is your goal as
Well,
an organization?
our mission is to assist law enforcement in the reduction of crimes that have been committed and assist in the resolution of those crimes and, very simplistically, make Champaign County a safer and better place for all. That, I think, it's a very simplistic concept, but I think it's very tremendously important. And that really is our thrust. We're very concerned about the escalation of criminal activity, and we want to do everything that we possibly can to counteract that, to confront it, and make this community safer and better for all.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to ask you again. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Is there anything more?
I think we've really covered the points. I think you've got a lot of information there. You can slice and dice. And, of course, and if you have any other questions, feel free to call. But I think we've really covered the.
Yeah. I mean, I
Like I say,
enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah,
I didn't know a whole lot.
Well,
I
that's
learned
just
a lot
it,
here
and
myself.
that's why it's important for us really to try to, and that's what we're trying to, and that's why the CIA is very important to us. Get the word out, so people know. Because you said yourself, you've gone out crime scenes, and you'll have a group of people, and do you know anything? No. Do you know anything? No. Do you know anything? No. Yet they do.
Or you
Some
can have
do.
them tell me that they did know.
Right, but they're not. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not going to share it because they're fearful.
Right.
And that's where we can come in. And that's what we really want people to know. We can then take that information and convey it to the right law enforcement agency, but maintain that anonymity so that you're doing it totally anonymous. And there's no way someone can find out who you are through our organization. And that's, as I said, a cornerstone of our operation.
Yeah. All right. I mean, that's it for